Waiting on the day when we can go outside and plans are made. All right, everybody, how's it going? Hope everyone is doing well. Little Johnny Mayer here, my favorite. We're going to go ahead and take a look today at solving one-step algebraic equations, and we'll come back to John Mayer at the end of it. What are you waiting on, Johnny? Yeah, he's waiting on a day. Me too. Feels like every day is the same day as the day before, but that's not about that right now. What's about right now is solving some one-step equations. And we were doing substituting with variables before with known quantities, and we're going to use that and see how that ties into this. We're going to go right into it now and turn it over here so y'all can see. All right, so we're going to set this up so y'all can see. And we see here y minus 7 equals 12. We are solving any equations here. We always want to do the opposite. Lo opuesto, whatever is happening in the variable, do the opposite, but to both sides. So we think what's the opposite of addition? It's subtraction. The opposite of subtraction is addition. The opposite of multiplication is division. The opposite of division is multiplication. All right, keep that in your head, and we have to do the opposite to both sides. So right now, if we have y minus 7, all right, we're going to draw la pared, right, the wall. And now we're going to go ahead right now and do the opposite. Right now we see what's happening to y. It's being subtracted by 7. Well, the opposite of subtracting is to add 7 to both sides. Now, because minus 7 and adding 7 are the opposite, they cancel out, right? They're gone. So it leaves us just with y. Y equals, now 12 plus 7 is 19. And this says y equals 19. All right. Now we're going to check and see why that actually makes sense. It's because the equation said y minus 7 equals 12, but now we know that y is 19, so we plug it in. That's what we were doing before. So 19 minus 7 equals 12, and 19 minus 7 does equal 12. So 12 equals 12. It checks, and it works. So again, we're just doing the opposite. 8y equals 40. Draw the wall, la pared. Right now, 8y means 8 times y. Well, the opposite of multiplying, we said, is dividing. So we're going to divide both sides by 8. Whatever you do to the left, you got to do to the right. Multiplying by 8 and divided by 8 is the opposite, so it cancels out. Leaves me just with y, and this is 40 divided by 8, and 40 divided by 8 is 5. This is y equals 5. So that would be our answer. Now we would check, rewrite the equation, 8y equals 40. And now instead of 8 times y, we know y is 5, so it would be 8 times 5 equals 40. And 8 times 5 is 40, so 40 does equal 40. It checks. All right, the next one here, y plus 5 equals 13. So now we're going to draw the wall, subtract each side by 5 because it's the opposite. The opposites cancel out, right? So it's just going to let you know, so y, and 13 minus 5 is 8. So y equals 8. Now we're going to plug it in. So y plus 5 equals 13. But instead of y, we're now going to substitute 8 in. So it's 8 plus 5 equals 13. 8 plus 5 is 13, and 13 does equal 13. And it checks. All right, the next one here, y divided by 4. Okay, so right now we're saying what is the opposite of dividing by 4? It is multiplying by 4. What do I do to the left? I do to the right. Okay, this cancels out, leaves me with y equals, and 9 times 4 is 36, so y equals 36. And we're going to see why that's correct, is y divided by 4 equals 9. Plug in 36 for y. 36 divided by 4 equals 9. 36 divided by 4 is 9, and 9 equals 9, and it checks. All right, so we're doing the opposite each time to get the variable by itself, and that's how we're solving. So we did a subtraction, we did a multiplication, addition, and a division. We did all 4. Now that you had a little opportunity to see, we're going to go ahead right now, and I'm going to put up 4 additional problems. And now instead of this time just kind of watching me solve, let me post them up here real quick so I can see. I'll fix the screen in a second here. 28 divided by y is 4. 28 divided by y is 4. And 3y equals 27. And y minus 5 is 9. Y minus 5 is 9. And y plus 6 is 10. Y plus 6 equals 10. All right, I'm going to make sure that you can see. Let me go back. All right, here we go. And so again, 28 divided by y is 4. 3y equals 27. Y minus 5 is 9. And y plus 6 equals 10. Please go ahead right now, try to solve these 4, and then check it on the side, and then do these 4, and then come back. All right, hopefully you went through and you solved them correctly. And we're going to go ahead and check them. We'll go through. This one's a little tricky now because y is actually dividing into 28. So this one we're going to think about things here a little differently now. We're thinking here, we're going to use what we got. So we're saying 4 is the answer. So we're saying what number goes into 28 exactly 4 times? And you might be thinking 7. Well, a little shortcut for this, notice the fact that the variable didn't come first, it came second. If you take the quotient, oh, bad marker. If you take the quotient, I'm coming, hold on. If you take the quotient 4 and you divide it into the dividend here, and you go 4 goes into 28, 7, you'll get your easy answer. Okay, so for example, it said 30 divided by x equals 5. To figure out what this is, you could say 5 is in 30 6 times, boom, that would be your answer. All right, so we're going to go ahead right now, and now that we know if we divide over here, 4 into 28 goes 7 times, then we know that y equals 7. If we go ahead and check now, 28 divided by y equals 4, but 28 divided by 7 equals 4. 7 does go to 28 4 times, 4 equals 4, it checks. Next one, 3y equals 27, draw our wall. 3 and y are being multiplied. The opposite is to divide each side by 3. The opposite of multiplying and dividing are opposites, so they cancel out. Just leaves you with y, and 3 goes into 27 9 times. Checking it, 3y equals 27. 3 times y is 27, so we'll say 3 times, in this case, now 9 equals 27, and 3 times 9 is 27. 27 equals 27, it checks. Drawing the wall, y minus 5 equals 9. We do the opposite, so now it's plus 5. Cancels out. Y equals 9 plus 5 is 14. Y equals 14. Rewrite the problem and check it. Y minus 5 equals 9, but instead of y now it's 14 minus 5 equals 9. 14 minus 5 is 9. 9 equals 9. It checks. And the last one here for this version. Draw the line here. Y plus 6. The opposite of adding 6 is to subtract 6 by both. These cancel out because they're opposites. And y equals 4. Okay, that's our answer to check. This is y plus 6 equals 10. Now we plug in 4 for y. 4 plus 6 equals 10. 4 plus 6 is 10. 10 equals 10. It checks. All right, so we're just doing the opposite repeatedly now to get the variable by itself, solving and putting it back into check. And I'm going to go ahead right now. It's falling apart on me a little bit. I'm going to put up the last 4 problems for you. And let's go. All right, y divided by 7 is 6. Y divided by 7 equals 6. And y minus 10 equals 30. Y minus 10 equals 30. And 5y equals 40. 5y equals 40. And y plus 5 is 11. Y plus 5 equals 11. All right, so I'm going to make sure that you get a good view here. So I'll read these back to you. Y divided by 7 equals 6. The next one here, y minus 10 equals 30. 5y equals 40. And y plus 5 equals 11. Please do solve by doing the opposite and then get the variable by itself to find the answer and then go back in and check. So please go ahead right now, solve all 4, then come back and we'll go over. All right, hopefully you pause it like you were supposed to, and now we're going to go ahead and go over these. All right, so we're going to draw the wall. All right, so it says y divided by 7. All right, the opposite of dividing by 7 is to multiply by 7. The opposite cancel out. Y equals 7 times 6 is 42. Y equals 42. Now rewrite the problem and check. Y divided by 7 equals 6. Plug in the answer of 42 for y. 42 divided by 7 equals 6. 42 divided by 7 is 6. 6 equals 6. It checks. Next one, draw the wall. Y minus 10. Instead of subtracting 10, you could add 10. That's the opposite. Cancels out. Y is going to equal 30 plus 10 is 40. Now to go ahead and check, we're going to plug it in. Write the equation. Y minus 10 equals 30. Plug in or substitute 40 for the y. 40 minus 10 is 30. And 40 minus 10 is 30. So 30 equals 30. It checks. Next one here, we're going to draw the wall. Go ahead right now. 5y means 5 times y. The opposite of multiplying is dividing by 5. Opposites cancel out. Leaving y equals 5 goes in 40 8 times. Y equals 8. 5y equals 40. So instead of 5 times y, it's 5 times 8 equals 40. And 5 times 8 is 40. 40 equals 40. It checks. And the last problem to go over here. It says y plus 5 equals 11. We're adding by 5. The opposite is subtract 5 by both sides. It cancels out. Y equals 11 minus 5 is 6. That's our answer. Rewrite the equation to check. Y plus 5 equals 11. We're going to subtract 5. Got to plug in 6 here. Sorry, I was doing solve the equation again. Plug in 6 here. 6 plus 5 equals 11. And 6 plus 5 is 11. 11 does equal 11. It checks. Our answer works. Okay, so the thing to keep in mind here is the following, is the fact that when you're solving these and you go through, you want to get the variable by itself by doing the opposite. But whatever you do to the left, do the right. So it's add by 2, then subtract each side by 2. If it's times 3, then divide by 3. Whatever we're doing, do the opposite to get the variable by itself. And whatever you do to the left, do the right. Get your answer, go back and plug and work them out. So with your homework that I'm going to be attaching here, it's going to be on Jamboard. I want you to write right on Jamboard. Don't do it on a separate piece of paper and then send it to me, but do your work right on Jamboard, both solving and checking. And so we'll have 2 lessons this week, and there will be a quiz for next week. So that's that. Hope everyone's staying safe, staying well, and a little Johnny Mayer to play us out. Do me a favor, by the way. Is John will come back one second. He's right at the end. Just put a little message like, hey, Brady, how you doing? Or whatever little thing to let me know that you watched the video, right? That I would appreciate that. Just so I know you're watching it when you watch along. That'd be awesome. All right? Thanks. And hope everybody's doing well. I'm great, showing my age. For baseball to be back. That'd be nice. Oh, and hockey. So stay safe, be well, keep solving those equations. Take well, guys. Stay safe, be well. Take care.